In this video we are taking our first look at the brand new Nike Zoom Fly 5. And welcome back to 40 Runs at 40 Runs HQ. Now firstly, if you are new to the channel, you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe before you leave us today, and tell me in the comments if you're in the UK, did you bag a pair? And wherever you are in the world, has this shoe dropped yet? The Nike Zoom Fly 5, has it come out where you live, or do you know when it's coming out? Help some people out, let them know when you think this is coming out where you live. Right, okay, so just a bit of a heads up. This video is a completely different video to what I was actually going to make about the Nike Zoom Fly 5. These arrived on Friday. If you follow me on Instagram or tune into the live stream on a Friday, you'd have seen that these popped up on Friday. And the plan was to race these at the ASICS 10K on Sunday. I laced them up for a park run on Saturday morning, thinking that we'd just bed them in, see what they're like, get acclimatised to them, then take them along to ASICS on Sunday. But I ran in them and soon, well, very soon, realised that there was absolutely no way I could wear these over a 10K race. So the video's changed. We've done 2 runs in them now. We did that park run and we've done a training run in them 6 miles today, and that's why after doing that run I wanted to come back quite quickly and give you some sort of things to consider before you pull the trigger on these, because there was some stuff that went through my mind, some thoughts that initially when running in the shoe that were, well, they were concerning. Right, so like I said, the plan was to race this on Sunday, but we switched out to the Alpha Fly 2 because after running these at Park Run, there was no way I was going to do that. But before we get into that, let's quickly do the stats and features. And the reason we're going to do it quickly, because there's not actually that much information about the shoe. It kind of just dropped on the Nike website when the Alpha Fly 2 dropped as well. It is set up as a sort of training partner for the Alpha Fly, which I think is a little bit of a stretch, to be honest with you. And the other thing, which is really, really important to know, is that if you go on the Nike website and read the description of the specifications about the shoe, they basically hammer the Zoom Fly 4. They say that this is a much better shoe in terms of performance, and that wasn't a very good shoe, which is quite amusing. But under those specifications and bits and bobs about the shoe, there's very little information at all. So what we do know is that this shoe now has ZoomX, or scraps of ZoomX in it, which is the recycled ZoomX. Now, some of it won't come out of the camera, but in there's like a little window and you can see the scraps of ZoomX. So they put bits of ZoomX in here versus the React foam, which was in the previous model. But there is a carrier foam on this, so it's combined like some of the other shoes with Nike. Now this is the SRO2, I believe, for carrier foam, which gives it the durability and structure to go with the ZoomX scraps. But what that does do, it increases the weight, and we'll come on to that in a minute. So you've got a carrier foam with a little bit of ZoomX. So I wouldn't get too excited the fact that this shoe does have ZoomX in it, because actually I'm not sure what the percentage is in terms of what ZoomX is in here, because when you're running it, it doesn't feel like there's a lot. We do have a new mesh upper. They played around with the stack heights. The tongue is gusseted. There's a nice bit of foam around the heel. The drop on the previous model's 8mm. Someone said to me in one of the comments on YouTube that they think this has got a 5mm drop, but I don't know, because again, this has not been confirmed anywhere. The plate in here on Nike website does not say it's a carbon plate, right? But it is definitely more rigid than a TPU plate. So give you an example, stay there. So in a Speed 3, you've got a TPU plate. See how flexing that is? So it still feels like there's a carbon plate in here, but I don't know whether it's a carbon infused plate, whether it's an out and out carbon plate, because it doesn't say on the Nike website, but there's still a plate running the full length of the shoe, we believe. On the outsole, significant changes. You've got this like waffled, rubberized outsole, which is definitely increasing the weight of the shoe. Price is £145 to Nike members, I believe. I pay for this shoe myself. Just a heads up, I'm not a journalist. I don't get this stuff for free anymore because I'm too honest, it seems. I pay for these myself, and so no one's been sent. I've not been told what to say. I've not got a script. I've got not the stats and features, which is pretty obvious from this video. I bought this out of my own money, so that's why I don't have all the details about it. So apologies for that. But yeah, so we've got this new waffle outsole. The actual, just as a little, we'll come on to it, but the outsole actually performed well on the part run because it was a bit of a traily part run in parts, and the outsole did do well, but that does add to the weight. Now here's the thing with this shoe. This is meant to be a training and competition shoe along the lines of the Speed 3, but it weighs over 10 ounces. 11.3 ounces for a UK 9.5. 11.3 ounces, people. My daughters are lighter than that. Now that compares to just under 9 ounces for the Speed 3 in my UK 9.5. So it's absolutely outrageous that they've gone for a training shoe for the Alpha Fly that is over 11 ounces. I don't know what they were thinking about when they put this shoe together to come in at that weight. There's just absolutely no reason for this shoe to be over 11 ounces. And imagine if you had like a UK 12, it'd be like a concrete boot on your foot. Now, so like I said, 2 runs only, okay? So I appreciate that this is a first impression and views are limited at the moment. But I wanted to come back to you because it was so striking on Saturday that immediately I knew that shoe wasn't ready or good enough for me to run a fast 10k on the Sunday. Absolutely no way I could run a fast 10k in it. It had nothing under it in terms of under your foot. When you put like a, oh they're not in here, but like a Next Percent or something on, it makes you feel alive. Even the Pro 3, you can immediately feel like it feels like a fast shoe. It had nothing. I just felt the concrete and it had no bounce, and that's the thing. The ZoomX has got no bounce in this shoe. I tried different paces, I tried to move around with my paces, and I got nothing out of it, only over that short distance, I appreciate, which is why I sacked them off for the 10k. So I then took the shoe out for a 6-mile training run because I'm thinking actually this is more of a training shoe, which, to be fair it is, but if you've only got 145 quid, 150 quid to buy one shoe that you're thinking, actually I need a shoe that's going to be able to training and do a marathon or half marathon in, and I like Nike, then maybe this is the way to go. But I went out there on that run today and it was just boring and it had no life, it had no ZoomX about it. The carbon plate wasn't responsive, and I don't know, it was just, I can't get away from the weight. It just feels noticeably heavy. And the other problem, okay, it is hot here in the UK at the moment, but it was really hot, my foot, in this upper, which, okay, yeah, maybe, I had Nike socks on, one piece sock on, so they weren't like thick socks or anything, but my foot was getting hot, like hotter than I would get, like, say, for example, in a Speed 3. So it just, I don't know, even on that training run, it was lifeless. So that's where we're at with the shoe. It is worrying, it is a concern. We're going to put more training miles through them. I appreciate, again, this is only it is literally a first impressions video, 2 runs in it. You could say, well, what do you know? But you kind of get the feeling, people, especially when it's set up with a plate and it's meant to be a little bit of a snappier feeling shoe, as soon as you put them on. But that regardless, we're going to put the shoe for a couple of weeks through the training rotation that we're doing marathon training at the moment. So we'll get a good assessment of where it's at. Versus especially something like the Speed 3, which is basically, I would say, a competitor against the shoe. By the way, the Speed 3, this is a little bit wider than the Speed 3, just as a heads up, because I did measure them. I got all scientific with a tape measure, and I measured them because I was interested to know. But this is a competitor, the way I see it, against the Speed 3. And at the moment, just after 2 runs, I'm thinking, why would you just not get the Speed 3? It makes no sense. So let's see where we go with it. We'll come back, we'll do a performance review on the shoe after we've done plenty more miles in them, put them through the rotation, and we'll get a better understanding of it. But what I would just say to you, and this is the main reason for the video today, is I would hold off for now. I wouldn't rush out and buy these. I would wait till more reviewers get them. I would look for a reviewer that, you know, similar to you in terms of, you know, pace and you know, that kind of stuff, and where you are. Maybe, you know, you're a really fast runner, so like Benny's Running is a good channel to watch, or Andy Forrester doing something like that. But yeah, so look for a reviewer that's similar to you, and also get some more opinion maybe before you spend £145 on it, because if this is a shoe you're looking at for, you know, maybe you've got London Marathon, or you're training for a marathon in the autumn, or you want a shoe that's going to be able to do everything and take you through to race day, I wouldn't necessarily think this is it. At 11 point something ounces in a UK 9.5, I just can't see anything here, and it doesn't feel like it's got ZoomX in it. It really doesn't, and that's the thing. The biggest takeaway for me, it just doesn't feel like it's a ZoomX kind of feeling shoe with a plate in it. Not at all. It really doesn't. Is it an improvement over Zoomfly 4? It's hard to say, really. I suppose it's early days, isn't it? Because first impression. So, yeah, that's the point I really want to leave you with. Don't rush out and buy them. Okay? Wait until people have put, you know, more miles through. Get some different opinions from people, and then think about it. But for me, initial and really early days initial runs, well, I think it tells you everything. The fact that I wouldn't take this for a 10k race tells you everything, I hope, from there. Okay, right, that's it. I'll check back in with you once we get more miles on it. But yeah, the Zoomfly 5, it's not very awesome.